This episode is going to reveal the secret you need to break a trauma bond and let him go with confidence. Hello, and welcome back to the episode. You know that it's a trauma bond. You have done the research. You have had the hard conversations with yourself. Maybe you've even said goodbye and meant it for real this time. And yet, there you are again at 11 p.m., unblocking him, scrolling, and second guessing. If you have been in this frustrating, maddening cycle of getting sucked back in to somebody that you know you should not be with or know that is not good for you, today is your lucky day because we're going to be talking about the secret that has been missing as you have been trying to let go of this person and of this bond. So first and foremost, in this episode, you're going to discover why going back is not weakness and it's not a character flaw. You're going to learn how this push and pull dynamic in a narcissistic relationship actually creates a chemical dependency in your brain and body that is as real as any addiction. And you're going to leave this conversation feeling more equipped with a kinder, smarter framework for healing that doesn't require more willpower or logic or more shame. And be sure to stick with me to the end of the episode where I will pull an oracle card. This will offer you a message that you can hold on to this week. So let's take a deep breath and begin. The tendency that we have when we get out of a narcissistic relationship and then feel ourselves get pulled back in with that same person is to really beat ourselves up. We really have this part that comes forward that is like, what the hell are you doing? You are smarter than this. I thought we were stronger than this. This is all your fault. What are you doing wrong? And it can tend to create the behavior of trying harder to figure out what's happening, trying harder to like really white knuckle the period of time where you guys are separated or when you're going no contact in hopes that that's really going to work this time in keeping you away. Keeping this breakup as a breakup and not just a temporary pause before he comes back again. But those things, as you've experienced this cycle several times, likely, those things are not working. And you keep finding yourself getting pulled back into his orbit, right? Likely thinking something along the lines of, well, he's changed now. I'm watching him be all the things that I want him to be. And now we can have this life together that I've always wanted. Or maybe you're thinking to yourself while you're separated of like, gosh, I really do love him. I know that he's a good person deep down. I don't want to give up on him. I really want to help him become the person that he wants to be because I love him so much. Or maybe this is something that I hear so much from clients is that he's my soulmate, right? There's so many signs that brought us together. There's so many reasons that we're good together. I really feel like he's my soulmate. I want to go back and I want, again, to help him actualize these changes so that we can have this life that we've talked about and dreamed about and that he's promised me. And it can feel so confusing to have gotten to the point of what felt like no return and then to feel like you're getting sucked back into him and feel like you're not in control of you unblocking him or reaching out to him or looking through his socials. So this is the secret that I want you to know about what is happening. It is not that you are weak or that you are not smart enough or you're not trying hard enough. The reason that you feel pulled back to him is because your nervous system is in withdrawal. And why do I use the word withdrawal? I use that very specifically. Prior to this lifetime of work, I spent a whole other lifetime in the substance abuse and addiction, mental health world. And I learned a lot about addiction and what's working in the body and the brain to create that chemical dependency. So the parallels here are uncanny. And I'm going to describe why this feels like an addiction, because this back and forth in the narcissistic cycle, when you go through the periods of love bombing and then devaluing and then discarding and then that hoovering, that cycle creates a chemical addiction or dependency on the highs that come after the lows. So this relationship feels like a roller coaster, right? There's always the super high highs and there's always the super low lows, and you keep cycling through that cycle. A trauma bond is an attachment that is built through repeated emotional pain, followed by relief from the same person. And that keeps you holding on super tightly to the person who hurts you, because that is also the person that you have experienced getting the relief or the soothing from. You become dependent on this person, on the closeness with this person to provide the relief, to provide the high after the low. What's happening in this cycle is something called intermittent reinforcement, which is one of the most addictive types of reinforcement. This is what social media is built on. This is what gambling is built on. It's when we never know when the thing we want is going to come. And so it keeps us in this constant state of seeking that thing because we never know when it's going to come. So thinking about your relationship to this person as one of the most addictive reinforcement systems that there is really important, because when there's a big reward, these relationships are based on the reward being closeness. When I am acting right, when I am not pissing him off, when we're okay, when we come back together after a fight or after I leave, there is closeness. And there's that understanding of I'm loved, I'm wanted, I'm safe. And your body in that period of closeness is getting floods of dopamine and floods of oxytocin. So literally the chemicals in your brain are wiring to say, stay close to this person. This person makes our body feel safe, feel regulated, feel okay, feel good. That's what's happening during the high highs in the relationship. And then you move into the low lows of the relationship, which is inevitable again in the cycle, because you're cycling between the love bombing and then the devaluing and then the discarding and then the hoovering. So it's not a constant state of, I love you, I want you close. There's a lot of this push-pull. So when the lows come, that's when you're feeling the criticism, the silent treatment, the manipulation. What's happening biochemically during this period of time are floods of cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol comes when you are in a stress state, and adrenaline comes when you are in fear. When you are in the periods of the relationship where you're starting to feel yourself go back into the low, it's like, I feel anxious, I feel on edge, I feel confused because we just were in a really good period and now he's starting to ignore me or starting to criticize me. It puts you on edge. It puts you in this hypervigilant survival space. And we spend a lot of time in this hypervigilant space where our body is just pumping the cortisol and the adrenaline. Cortisol is how your mind is perceiving this is like something bad is coming, right? I need to up my alertness with cortisol so that I can be prepared for something bad coming. And then when something bad comes, when it's the fight, when it's the ghosting, when it's the separation, it's like, shit, we're releasing all this adrenaline because we need to survive. We need to get out of the bad thing. The bad thing is here. So your body is just pumping these hormones that are like, we're not okay, we're not okay, we're not okay. Also during this period of when you're starting to separate, when there's starting to become more fighting, more rifts, more feeling like you're not enough or not good enough, is a lot of hyperfixation on getting back to the good version, whether that's fixing you or fixing him. It's like almost a panic state of, I need to fix this so that this ultimate break, this ultimate separation doesn't actually happen. So you can get really fixated on the hope in this period of time where things are going to get better, when you're going to do the thing that's going to take away this potential break that's coming. Inevitably, the break comes. There's some sort of distance. There's some sort of separation. There is maybe a breakup that happens where you are like, again, I'm blocking him. I'm 1,000% done. Maybe it's more of we need to take a break for a couple of months and figure our shit out. Maybe it's him leaving without any explanation. In any of those cases, what's happening in your body is the same amount of pain as if you were physically injured. This emotional pain, feeling the distance, feeling the lack of closeness is so emotionally unbearable in this period that your body is really signaling, we are not okay without him. We need the person that can take away the pain to come and take away the pain. Because when you're in the closeness, not only are you getting the reinforcement of he chose me, I'm lovable, I'm wanted, right? It's validating all of these beliefs that you start to second guess when there's distance. Because when there's distance, you believe something's wrong with you. You did something bad. You're not going to be okay without him. Oh my God, I'm going to be alone forever, right? It ramps up the panic. So your mind has correlated closeness with I'm okay, I'm loved, I'm wanted. Separation with I'm not okay, I'm going to be alone forever. I'm a terrible mess. Nobody's going to want me. I failed. And that is the addictive part of this experience with somebody, is that the emotional pain is so strong. The beliefs are so scary that what you know is to go back to the thing that's going to take it away. And the partner in this case, always comes back to take it away. And it feels like a more intense level of relief, because it's almost like you have been being held underwater with all of these emotions and beliefs and feelings and discomfort, and not knowing how to be with everything that's happening, that you're just panicking. You feel like you can't breathe. When he comes back, it feels like he showed up in a boat and like pulled you out of the water. You're like, oh my God, I can breathe for the first time. I don't have to struggle hard anymore. You're here. You saved me. So this is such a trap, because how can the person who caused such the pain be the person that can cause such relief? That's what happens in a trauma bond, is our wires really get crossed. Your body has created a dependency of the cycle, knowing that he will take away the pain. He will be the one that can regulate me. This push-pull cycle creates such strong emotional glue, right? The bond, the trauma bond, is so strong that you become dependent on the hope that he will change, because you need that state. You need him changing and the closeness to happen again in order to relieve the distress you're feeling. And so what can happen here is you're starting to second guess your inner knowing, because your body actually won't let you believe or trust or follow that inner knowing that this person is not good for us, because that means ultimate separation, final separation, which means letting him go, which means panic. Your body has associated distance with panic, with we're not okay, and we need him close. So this bond becomes about survival. You are choosing him, you're choosing to go back to him to get out of the withdrawal period, to get out of those intense feelings of discomfort and pain. I want you to think about, in those moments where you've gone back, after the period of reconnection where this is bliss and everything's going to work out, when things start declining again, what is it that you feel? What I hear from clients and what I help them process through every single day is this crushing shame of, fuck, I believed him again. I took him back. And now I have to tell all my friends and family again that this is actually not true. This is actually not working out this time, right? There's a further isolation that happens because of the shame. There's also a sense of failure, of being like, God, how did I let this happen again? How did I not see what was happening? How was I not strong enough to stick to my word like I promised I would? And you feel a lot of confusion and therefore indecision. So I have clients who are just so bewildered that they are so stuck in this place of indecision. They don't know if it's actually going to work the next time. They don't know what needs to change. They don't know what they're doing wrong. They don't know if they should believe the next set of promises, because how will they know if this is actual change or just another part of the trauma bond cycle. So the shame, the feelings of failure, the indecision, the confusion, it's draining. It's so draining. That's why when you're in the cycle, you feel like you are just a shell of who you used to be, because you are overexerting in every way just to try to maintain a sense of safety in your body, because safety is dependent on what is happening with him and the status of the relationship, which is a very painful place to be because you're not in control of so much of that equation. Every time that you go back, this is not just the pain of being in another cycle of lows. This is like quiet grief of you betraying yourself again. And that self-judgment voice coming back of, I'm weak, I'm broken, something's wrong with me. It's a me problem that I'm stuck in this cycle. So what I want to give you is a smarter and safer way to really break the trauma bond so that you can feel confident in your decision and have the nervous system regulation and the information that you need in order to not go back. Because again, the reason that you're going back is not because you're broken. It's not for lack of willpower or lack of trying. It's because your nervous system has learned to associate him with safety and regulation. And he has become like your only tool for safety and regulation. So you need support that helps your body feel safe without him, helps you feel safe in that distance period. So what I've created is a free guide, and this is called the Trauma Bond Breaker. This guide has 7 micro shifts that you can start implementing today in order to really crystallize your understanding of the relationship and set your nervous system up with some tools to begin to dance within this discomfort that happens during the low periods of the relationship and during the period of time where the breakup comes. It's a combination of actionable steps and nervous system tending so that you can start to break this trauma bond for good. Because I don't want you to be stuck in this cycle for another 3 months or 5 years, beating yourself up and thinking that something is wrong with you. Getting out of a trauma bond is possible. I am walking proof. I help clients with this every day. This is not something that is impossible. It's just something that you need the right tools for. So start with this Trauma Bond Breaker guide. The link is in the show notes. It's completely free. You'll click through a link that will have you request the document, and I will send it to you personally. Okay. Finally, let's pull our oracle card and see what the message is for today. What came out is she snake. It's a picture of a woman with a snake tail. Let me read to you what it says. The oracle of sensuality is here because you are too far from your physical body. Your sensual self has been diminished, minimized, hidden, or lost. That is over now, as she snake commands you to feel into your body. Allow yourself to slither and glide. Your sense of pleasure yearns to awaken. Abandon messages of restriction and stop denying yourself satisfaction. Any small act like drinking ice water or touching something soft. Perhaps it is bringing something into your space that stimulates your senses. Maybe you need to move your body, to touch or be touched. Listen to its natural rhythm. Touch, lick, smell, taste, feel that which is pleasurable to you. She snake is the messenger of love, sensation, sensuality, and she's beckoning you to connect in love through your physical body. So much of the nervous system regulation process is getting comfortable in your body, especially when you have been outsourcing your comfortability or your okayness onto someone else. It's going to feel like a new skill and a new practice to tend to your body within yourself. So keep going. And until I see you in the next episode, please remember that you are not alone.